Shalom, shalom. Today we're going to finish Numbers. So we're going to go chapter 31 through chapter 36. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Take vengeance for the children of Israel on the Midianites. After that you are to be gathered to your people. And Moshe spoke to the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves for the campaign, and let them go against the Midianites to take vengeance of Yahuwah on Midian. Send 1,000 from each tribe of all the tribes of Israel for the campaign. So there were supplied from the tribes of Israel 1,000 from each tribe, 12,000 armed ones for the campaign, and Moshe sent them on the campaign, 1,000 from each tribe. Them and Pinhas, son of Eleazar, the priest, on the campaign, with the set-apart utensils and the trumpets for sounding in his hand. And they fought against the Midianites as Yahweh commanded Moshe, and killed all the males. And they killed the sovereigns of Midian, with the rest of those who were pierced, Ewa and Rechem and Sur and Hur and Reba, the 5 sovereigns of Midian, and they killed Balaam son of Beor with the sword. And the sons of Israel took all the women of Midian captive with their little ones, and took as spoil all their livestock and all their possessions, and they burned with fire all the cities where they dwelt and all their settlements. And they took all the spoil and all the booty of both of man and beast. And they brought the captives and the booty and the spoil to Moshe and to Eleazar the priest and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest and all the leaders of the congregation went to meet them outside the camp. But Moshe was wroth with the officers of the army, with the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, who had come from the campaign. And Moshe said to them, Have you kept all the women alive? Look, they are the ones who caused the children of Israel through the word of Balaam to trespass against Yahweh in the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of Yahweh. And now, kill every male among the little ones, and every woman who has known a man by living with a man you shall kill. But keep alive for yourselves all the female children who have not known a man by living with a man, by lying with a man. And you camp outside the camp 7 days. Whoever has killed any being, and whoever has touched any slain, cleanse yourself and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And cleanse every garment and every object of leather, and all the work of goat's hair, and every object of wood. And Eleazar the priest said to the men of the campaign who went to the battle, This is the law of the Torah which Yahweh commanded Moshe. Only the gold and the silver, the bronze, the iron, the tin, and the lead, every object that passes through fire, you put through the fire, and it shall be clean. Only let it be cleansed with the water for uncleanness. And whatever does not pass through the fire, you pass through water. And you shall wash your garments on the 7th day, and be clean, and afterwards come into the camp. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Count up the plunder that was taken of man and of beast, you and Eleazar the priest, and the heads of the fathers of the congregation. And you shall divide the plunder into 2 parts, between those who took part in the battle, who went out on the campaign, and all the congregation, and set aside a levy for Yahweh on the men of battle who went out on the campaign, 1 out of every 500 of man, and of the cattle, and of the donkeys, and of the sheep. Take it from their half, and give it to Eleazar the priest as a contribution to Yahweh. And from the children of Israel, half you shall take. And from the children of Israel's half you shall take 1 of every 5th of man, of the cattle, of the donkeys, and of the sheep, of all the livestock, and give them to the Levites according to the duty of the dwelling place of Yahweh. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest did as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And the booty remaining from the plunder which the people of the campaign had taken was 675,000 sheep, and 72,000 cattle, and 61,000 donkeys, and 32,000 human beings in all, of women who had not known a man by lying with a man. And the half, the portion of those who went out on the campaign, was in number 337,500 sheep, and the levy unto Yahweh of the sheep was 675, and the cattle 36,000, of which the levy unto Yahweh was 72, and the donkeys were 30,500, and of which the levy unto Yahweh was 61, and the human beings were 16,000, of which the levy unto Yahweh was 32 beings. So Moshe gave the levy, which was the contribution unto Yahweh, to Eleazar the priest, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And from the children of Israel's half, which Moshe divided from the men who campaigned, now the half belonging to the congregation is 337,500 sheep, 36,000 cattle, and 30,500 donkeys, and 16,000 human beings. Then Moshe took from the children of Israel's half, one out of every 50 drawn from man and beast, and gave them to the Levites who guarded the duty of the dwelling place of Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And the officers who were over thousands of the campaigns, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, came near to Moshe, and they said to Moshe, your servants have taken account of the fighting men under our command, and not a man of us is missing. So we have brought an offering for Yahweh, what every man found of ornaments of gold, armlets and bracelets and signet rings and earrings and necklaces, to make atonement for ourselves before Yahweh. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest received the gold from them, all the fashion ornaments, and all the gold of the offering that they presented to Yahweh from the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, was 16,750 shekels. The men of the campaign had taken spoil, every man for himself. And Moshe and Eleazar the priest received the gold from the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, and brought it into the tent of appointment as a remembrance for the children of Israel before Yahweh. I got a sip, sorry. And 32. And the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had much livestock, a large number. And they saw the land of Yazur and the land of Gilead, and saw that the place was a place for livestock. So the children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spoke to Moshe and to Eleazar the priest and to the elders and to the leaders of the congregation, saying, Adaroth and Dabon and Yazur and Nimrah and Heshbon and El Aleh and Sebam and Nebo and Baon, the land which Yahweh had stricken before the congregation of Israel, is a land for livestock, and your servants have livestock. And they said, if we have found favor in your eyes, let this land be given to your servants as a possession, and do not let us pass over the Jordan. And Moses said to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, are your brothers to go into the battle while you yourselves sit here? Now why do you discourage the heart of the children of Israel from passing over into the land which Yahweh has given them? Thus your fathers did when I sent them away from Kadesh Barnea to see that land. For when they went up to the Wadi Eshcol and saw the land, they discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, so that they did not go into the land which Yahweh had given them. Then the displeasure of Yahweh burned on that day, and he swore an oath, saying, not one of the men who came up from Mitzrayim from 20 years old and above is to see the land of which I swore to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Jacob, because they did not follow me completely, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Yehoshua, son of Nun, for they have found Yahweh completely. So the displeasure of Yahweh burned against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years, until all the generations that had done evil in the eyes of Yahweh was destroyed. And see, you have risen in your father's place, an increase of men, sinners, to add still more the burning displeasure of Yahweh against Israel. For if you turn away from following him, he shall once again lead them in the wilderness, and you shall destroy all these people. Then they came near to him and said, let us build sheep enclosures here for our livestock and cities for our little ones. But let us ourselves be armed, hastening before the children of Israel. until we have brought them into their place, and our little ones shall dwell in the walled cities because of the inhabitants of the land. We shall not return to our homes until every one of the children of Israel has received his inheritance. For we shall not inherit with them on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, because our inheritance has fallen to us on this eastern side of the Jordan. And Moshe said to them, If you make this promise, if you arm yourselves before Yahweh for battle, and all your armed ones pass over the Jordan before Yahweh until he has driven out his enemies from before him, and the land has been subdued before Yahweh, then afterward you shall return and be guiltless before Yahweh, before Israel, and this land shall be your possession before Yahweh. But if you do not do so, then see, your sin shall sin. You shall sin against Yahweh, and know your sin is going to find you out. Build cities for your little ones, and enclosures for your sheep, and do what you have promised. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spoke to Moshe, saying, Your servants are going to do as my master commanded. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and our livestock are going to be there in the cities of Gad. But your servants are passing over, every armed one of the army, before Yahweh to battle, as my master says. And Moshe gave command concerning them to Eleazar the priest, to Yehoshua son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moshe said to them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben pass over the Jordan with you, every man armed for battle before Yahweh, and the land has been subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gad as a possession. But if they do not pass over armed with you, they shall have possessions among you in the land of Canaan. Then the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As Yahweh has said to your servants, so we do. We ourselves are passing over armed before Yahweh into the land of Canaan, but the possession of our inheritance remains with us beyond the Jordan. So Moshe gave to the children of Gad, to the children of Reuben, and to the half tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the reign of Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and the reign of Og, sovereign of Bashan, the land with its cities within the borders, and the cities in the land round about. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aurora, and Atroth, Shophan, and Yazir, and Yogbahah, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, walled cities, and enclosures for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Elelah, and Kiriathim, Nevo, and Baal Maon, the names being changed, and Shibma, and they gave other names to their cities which they built. And the sons of Machir, son of Manasseh, went to Gilad, and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. So Moshe gave Gilad to Machir, son of Manasseh. So Moshe gave Gilad to Machir, son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. And Yair, son of Manasseh, went and took its small towns, and called them Havoth Yair. And Novah went and took Kenath and its villages, and he called it Novath, after his own name. Goodness. Okay. Chapter 33. These are the departures of the children of Israel who went out of the land of Mitzrayim by their divisions under the hand of Moshe and Aaron. And Moshe wrote down the starting points of their departures at the mouth of Yahweh, and these are their departures according to their starting points. This is about to be a good chapter right here. So they departed from Ramses in the first new moon, on the 15th day of the first new moon, on the morrow of the Pesach. The children of Israel went out with boldness before the eyes of all the Mitzrites. And the Mitzrites were burying all their firstborn, whom Yahweh had stricken among them. Also on their mighty ones Yahweh had executed judgments. Then the children of Israel departed from Ramses and camped at Sukkot. Then they departed from Sukkot and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. And they departed from Etham and returned back to Pi Hahiroth, which is east of Baal Shephon, and they camped near Migdal. And they departed from before Hahiroth, and they passed over through the midst of the sea into the wilderness, went 3 days' journey in the wilderness of Atham, and camped at Marah. And they departed from Marah and came to Elim. And at Elim were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there. And they departed from Elim and camped by the Sea of Reeds. And they departed from the Sea of Reeds, and they camped in the wilderness of Sin. And they departed from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dophkah. And they departed from Dophkah and camped at Alush. And they departed from Alush and camped at Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. And they departed from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. And they departed from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kirbath Hata'awa. And they departed from Kirbath Hata'awa and camped at Hatzeroth. And they departed from Hatzeroth and camped at Rithmah. And they departed from Rithmah and camped at Ramon Peretz. And they departed from Ramon Peretz and camped at Libnah. And they departed from Libnah and camped at Risha. And they departed from Risha and camped at Kehalath. And they departed from Kehalath and camped at Mount Shafir. And they departed from Mount Shafir and camped at Haradav. And they departed from Haradav and camped at Makaloth. And they departed from Makaloth and camped at Tahath. And they departed from Tahath and camped at Terah. And they departed from Terah and camped at Mithka. And they departed from Mithka and camped at Hashmona. And they departed from Hashmona and camped at Moseroth. And they departed from Moseroth and camped at Benai Yaakin. They departed from Benai Yaakin and they camped at Hor Haggidgad. Haggidgad, something like that. And they departed from Hor Haggidgad and camped at Yotbata. And they departed from Yotbata and camped at Abrona. And they departed from Abrona and camped at Eshron Geber. And they departed from Eshron Geber and camped in the wilderness of Sin, which is Kadesh. And they departed from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor on the boundary of the land of Edom. Then Aaron the priest went up to Mount Hor at the mouth of Yahweh and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel had come out of the land of Mitzrayim on the first day of the first day of the fifth new moon. Yeah. Yep. Now Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor, and the sovereign of Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south in the land of Canaan, heard of the coming of the children of Israel. So they departed from Mount Hor and camped at Salmona. And they departed from Salmona and camped at Punon. And they departed from Punon and camped at Obath. And they departed from Obath and camped at Avrim at the border of Moab. And they departed from Eam and camped at Devon Gad. And they departed from Devon Gad and camped at Almon. Oh man, I'm not even gonna pretend. They camped at Almon. And they departed from Almon and camped in the mountains of Abiram before Nebo. And they departed from the mountains of Abiram and camped in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. And they camped by the Jordan before Beth Yeshimoth as far as the Abel Shittim in the desert plains of Moab. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you have passed over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall drive out all the inhabitants of the land from before you, and shall destroy all their engraved stones, and shall destroy all their molded images, and lay waste to all their high places. And you shall possess the land, and dwell in it, for I have given you the land to possess. And you shall divide the land by lot as an inheritance among the clans. To the larger you give a larger inheritance, and to the smaller you give a smaller inheritance. Whether the lot falls to anyone, that is his. Wherever the lot falls to anyone, that is his. You inherit according to the tribes of your fathers. And if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall be that those whom you let remain shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and they shall trouble you in the land where you dwell. And it shall be that I do to you as I thought to do to them. (34) And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel, and say to them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land which falls to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Then your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Sin along the border of Edom, and your southern border shall be eastward from the end of the Salt Sea. Then your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akarivim, continue to Sin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea, and it shall go on to Hadsar Adar, and continue Atzmon. And the border shall return from Atzmon to the Wadi of Mitzrayim, and it shall end at the sea. And for the western border you shall have the great sea for a border. This is your western border. And this is your northern border. From the great sea you shall mark on your border line to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor you mark out your border to the entrance of Hamath, and the edge of the border shall be toward Sedad. And the border shall proceed Ziphron, and shall end at Hatzar Enan. This is your northern border. And you shall mark your eastern border from Hatzar Enan to Shepham, and the border shall go down from Shepham to Riblah on the east side of Ayan, and the border shall go down and reach the eastern side of the sea of Kinnereth. And the border shall go down along the Jordan, and it shall end at the Salt Sea. This is your land with its surrounding boundaries. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel, saying, This is the land which you inherit by lot, which Yahweh has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half-tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and the half-tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half-tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan and Jericho, eastward toward the sunrise. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, These are the names of the men who divide the land among you goodness gracious. Try again. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong this morning. These are the names of the men who divide the land among you as an inheritance: Eleazar the priest and Yehoshua son of Nun. And take 1 leader of every tribe to divide the land for the inheritance. And these are the names of the men: from the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb son of Yephun; from the tribe of the children of Shimon, Shiluman son of Amihud; from the tribe of Benjamin, Aldadad son of Kishlon; and a leader from the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki son of Yogli; from the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Anael son of Ephod; and a leader from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel son of Shiftan; and a leader from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elitzaphan son of Parkan; and a leader from the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltael son of Azan; and a leader from the tribe of the children of Asher, Ahihud son of Shalomim; and a leader from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Peldahel son of Amihud. These are the ones Yahweh commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Israel in the land of Canaan. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho, saying, Command the children of Israel that they shall give the Levites cities to dwell in from the inheritance of their possession. Also give the Levites open land around the cities, and they shall have the cities to dwell in, and their open land for their cattle, and for their herds, and for all their livestock. And the open land of the cities which you give the Levites are from the wall of the city outward 1,000 cubits all around. And you shall measure outside the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city in the middle is in the middle. This is to them the open land for their cities. And the cities which you give to the Levites are the 6 cities of refuge, which you give to them manslayer to flee to, and these you add 42 cities. All the cities which you give to the Levites are 48, these with their open land. And the cities which you give are from the possession of the children of Israel. From the larger tribe you give many, from the smaller tribe you give few. Each one gives some of the cities up to the Levites in proportion to the inheritance that each inherits. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you pass over the Jordan into the land of Canaan, then you shall choose cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer who has struck someone mistakenly shall flee there. And they shall be cities of refuge for you from the Redeemer and the manslayer. And the manslayer is not to die until he stands before the congregation for right ruling. And on the cities which you give, 6 are to be cities of refuge. Give 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and give 3 cities in the land of Canaan, as cities of refuge. These 6 cities are for refuge for the children of Israel, and for the sojourner, and for the settler in their midst, for anyone who mistakenly strikes someone to flee there. But if he has stricken him with an instrument of iron so that he dies, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. And if he has stricken him with a stone in the hand, by which one could die, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. Or if he has stricken him with a wooden instrument that could kill, and he does die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall certainly be put to death. The Redeemer of blood himself puts the murderer to death. When he meets him, he puts him to death. And if he thrusts him through in hatred, or throws an object at him while lying in wait so that he dies, or in enmity he strikes him with his hand so that he dies, that one who struck him shall certainly be put to death, for he is a murderer. The Redeemer of blood puts the murderer to death when he meets him. But if he pushes him suddenly without enmity, or throws an object at him without lying in wait, or uses a stone by which a man could die, throwing it at him without seeing him, so that he dies while he was not his enemy, or seeing his harm, then the congregation shall judge between him who struck someone and the Redeemer of blood, according to these right rulings. And the congregation shall rescue the manslayer from the hand of the Redeemer of blood, and the congregation shall return to him to the city of refuge where he had fled, and he shall remain there until the death of the high priest who was anointed with the set apart oil. But if the manslayer at any time goes outside the limits of the city of refuge where he fled, and the Redeemer of blood finds him outside the limits of his city of refuge, and the Redeemer of blood executes the manslayer, he is not guilty of blood, because he should have remained in his city of refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the manslayer is to return to the land of his possession. And these shall be for a law of right ruling to you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoever strikes a being, the murderer shall be executed by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness does not bear witness against someone to die. And take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death, but he shall certainly be put to death. And take no ransom for him who has fled to his city of refuge to return to dwell in the land before the death of the priest. And do not profane the land where you are, for blood profanes the land, and the land is not pardoned for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. And do not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell, for I, Yahweh, am dwelling in the midst of the children of Israel. All right, last one, 36. And the heads of the fathers of the clans of the children of Gilad, son of Machir, son of Manasseh, of the clans of the sons of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moshe and before the leaders, the heads of the fathers of the children of Israel, and said, Yahweh commanded my master to give the land as inheritance by lot to the children of Israel, and my master was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance to our brother Shepholahad to his daughters. Now, if they are married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then their inheritance shall be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and taken from the lot of our inheritance. And if the Yobel of the children of Israel takes place, then their inheritance shall be added to the inheritance of the tribe into which they marry, and their inheritance taken away from their inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yahweh, saying, What the tribe of the sons of Joseph speaks is right. This is the word which Yahweh has commanded for the daughters of Shepholahad, saying, Let them marry who is good in their eyes, but let them marry only within the clans of their father's tribe. And the inheritance of the children of Israel is not to change hands from tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Israel is to cling to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter possessing an inheritance is in any tribe of the children of Israel is to be the wife of one of the clan of her father's tribe. So the children of Israel's possess each the inheritance of his fathers. Thus the inheritance is not to change hands from one tribe to another, but every tribe of the children of Israel is to cling to its own inheritance. And as Yahweh commanded Moshe, so did the daughters of Shepholahad. For Mahlah, Trista, Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Shepholahad, were married to the sons of their father's brothers. And they were married into the clans of the children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of their father's clan. These are the commands of the right rulings which Yahweh commanded the children of Israel by the hand of Moshe in the desert plains of Moab by the Jordan of Jericho. All right, that's 4. We're almost through the Torah, the first 5 books. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to try and remember this one, or try to keep coming back to this. I will end it with this forever. Or try to anyway. Number 622 to the end. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is how you bless the children of Israel. Say to them, Yahweh bless you and guard you. Yahweh make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. Yahweh lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I myself shall bless them. Shalom, shalom.